Currently, I'm playing a lot of Rocket League, but I have been playing a lot of Rocket League for quite a few years. So I do play quite a few different games, such as Overwatch 2, Rocket League, Valorant. So yeah, I play quite a few.
Probably League of Legends or Apex. I've been playing a bit of that recently as well.
I play like Call of Duty, Rainbow, like Dead by Daylight, but the other ones are like Valorant and stuff. I don't play that.
This year we've studied on a course stuff like marketing and branding of a esports brand, and we've also looked at the commentating and the shoutcasting which goes behind it.
At Access, I study different parts of esports, such as health and well-being, skills that go into playing the games, and also learning about what is behind the esports in general. So it could be the different jobs that go into hosting a tournament, or let's say coaches or nutritionists that help the players. It's just a underlying part of esports that we don't see by watching a video.
Well, the esports industry is actually fairly more than just playing games, as most people would think. It's very broad in the fact that a lot of planning goes into the events themselves. A lot of people are employed in the background to make the teams in the video that you see or the games that you're seeing people play to run smoothly. And that's what the whole course is about.
I feel like something that's really interesting that we learn is the amount that goes behind just the initial brand in esports and the rebranding, and how many people, how many things that they have to think about when coming up with a different brand idea.
I study esports because I enjoy playing games, and I also want to have a career in esports after. So the reason why I'm studying esports as well is because it's not something I have a huge understanding of, but it's a passion that I have. I play games, but I know there's more behind it. So I want to be able to learn everything to go into it so I can have different opportunities when I'm older.
I just wanted to make sure that when I'm studying, it's something which I enjoy and something which I can try and put a lot of thought and dedication to learning, so yeah.
Because personally, I enjoy games a lot, and I've been playing them my whole life. And I've also been watching esports a lot recently.
I do think London is one of the best places to study esports in Europe because, well, East London itself is one of the capitals of esports, with a lot of esports places to play, just like Game Belong in multiple places throughout London. You have the Red Bull Gaming Arena down here in London. A lot of companies already that are partaking in the industry are in London, such as Ubisoft. Riot has a small office here, Fnatic.
The amount of esports venues and events which happen around London throughout the year, whether it be local or slightly bigger national events, is a lot higher compared to some of the other cities in the UK. So it's like me and Ollie, we saw some Fnatic players in Sainsbury's even last year. So it's like we just see a lot of people. There's a lot of esports things around here. So
Yeah. That you're lazy if you're doing esports, or that you don't want to do anything else because all you do is play games.
yeah, people think that esports players and gamers in general have a very sedentary lifestyle, but usually, especially in esports, it's not really the case because a lot of teams are being taught to be able to do more physical activities in their training as well to make sure that they're not physically unfit.
Okay, my one is, the main one you hear is that you can't get anywhere while playing games. That's the main misconception, or you're lazy, or you only do that because there's nothing else to do. But I personally don't believe that, because it's if you look, for example, how fast industry is growing, it's literally overtaken basically every industry. In a few years, it's going to be the most highest paid industry. And it's also for their tournaments, it's paying more than other jobs. So obviously, in order to have that job and the career, you have to be able to be at the best level. So it's understandable why people say what they say about esports, but it's if you're committed to it and you're the best at it, it'll provide you more than what any other industry will provide.
Yes, because they do take a lot out of their own time to practice what they're doing, just like other athletes do. So I would consider them athletes, especially if they would be competing in the Olympics.
What they're doing classes them as an athlete. because what they're having to do in order to become the best is the same thing as like a pro runner would have to do. Have to do a lot of training in order to become the best, and they're in front of a crowd, same as an athlete. So it's like, it's the same thing, just once again in a different area.
Esports players have to get up, have a good time every day. They have to do training, they have to look at the past games, learn how to improve. They've got to get coached, they've got to stream usually. They've got a live stream, it's part of their contract. And then also, most teams have implemented physical activity. So they have to do like an hour, half an hour of a gym per day.
Yeah, there's a lot you don't see behind the scenes for esports players.
You're probably thinking they play around, do games, but all of them follow a set routine where in there they have to do physical activity. They can't be sitting there playing 18 hours a day, blah, blah, becoming the best, because all that's going to do is make them play worse.
We all consider, for some reason, most people consider golf or chess a sport. And what's the difference between esports and chess? They're still using their brain, and that's tiring them out too. So
Some Asian countries, esports is bigger than sports, so to them, esports is the driving sport in their country. However, I see why people who live in England and the US don't really see esports as like a proper sport, because it's not physically demanding as other sports.
Yes, in my opinion. Because it goes into everything that has to be done in a sport. So like you're doing your physical activity, you do that in a sport. You're using your brain, do it in a sport. You have to work together, same thing, do it in a sport. So it's like everything that goes into a sport, and esports is the exact same.